Greetings and welcome back to Book of Shadows. We are back in this game after another pause, but this time my school has ended. I have no more of these mundane shenanigans. I should not talk, really. In any case, in the last episode we began chapter 5. Morishige is as crazy as ever, Mitsuki and Fukuroi died a couple of times, and now we are back here to not get killed by this thing. So let us go. If only I could hit this. It looks like the key from an old-fashioned wind-up toy.
ただのネジ巻きだね。
だが何のネジを巻くものなんだろうな。大きさからするとおもちゃのものにも見えるが。
一応持っとこうか。何かに使えるかもしれないし。
Indeed, let us take it with us. Hello, man. I will not speak with you. It's a thoroughly decomposed corpse. Looks to be a male junior high school student, except he's got no head. His name tag reads Kurashige Industrial High School, Akira Yutsuka. Mr. Akira Yutsuka was 17 years old, cause of death, unsurprisingly, decapitated by a booby trap. Well, like in the last time we spoke to him and helped him, and we died a few times because of this. Now we need to get into the girls' room, which is sealed by those things. What are they? Charms? Yes. What is this? There's a piece of scrap paper on the floor near the body. It seems to have been torn out of a larger memo pad. Several lines are written on it with pink ink. This is the continuation to the story we read in the last episode. We left a note for Nozomi, telling her to come to the staff room. There's no turning back now, but I shouldn't feel sorry for her. Without food, all three of us will die. And Nozomi's injured, so she'd never be able to get away from that man. And as we read in the last episode, she didn't. So this is the third person, because the first one was in the music room and the other was out in the hallway. It's a comparatively fresh corpse. Based on size and uniform, it looks to be a body of a female junior high school student. The expression on her face is almost joyous. Peculiar. Unfortunately, her student ID is clearly legible. Koya Girls Academy Middle School. Rena Misato. Age 14, cause of death, collapsed while searching for friends. Starved to death. And with that, they all are dead. The Hortensia Princess, with black dress and white shoes. Favors glass houses. No men in the restaurant, please. That made little sense, but then again, many things do not. In this place of horror and agony and miserable, wretched life that we call purgatory. I don't think there are other bodies here out in the hallway anymore. The door and window alike are frozen in place, as if they're just decorations on the wall. Nothing even rattles when pushed. There's the bucket we got earlier. It looks to be a bucket, probably used by the custodian for mopping the floors. There's nothing inside. Yes, we do not need it. If we have not accepted that guy's request to get his head back. Just for shits and giggles, I'm just gonna talk to him and say, no, we're not gonna help you because you're being an ass. I'll show you what we can do. We can walk away. Don't help him. There is, but that guy does not want your help, actually.
しかし美月。
無理だよ。自分たちだってどうなるかわからないのに。
We cannot.
そうだな。健介たちとの合流を最優先に考えよ
Yeah, you should conserve your energy to being alive. As long as you can.
すまない。今の俺たちじゃ力になれそうにない。ここを出たら必ず警察に連絡するから、それまで辛抱してくれ。
So just sit tight until then. Fukuroi, he's not moving anywhere.
待ってくれ。僕の頭を見つければ、君たちの役に立つものが。
Yeah, he's... Wait a minute. Is there something here? It looks like something is written here, but the lettering is so faint as to be illegible. The atmosphere feels heavier here than it does anywhere else, and the door is covered in protective charms. It seems to be shut up tight. It's not even locked, it just won't open.
お札ってなんかいわくありげだね。
I don't think I inspected this in the last episode, which comes as a surprise since I walked past this.
この校舎全体がいわくありげなんだが。
Fukuroi is pretty much spot on over there.
どっちにしろ入れないんじゃ調べようもないか。
Yeah, we need... I think... Damn it, I think the thing is that I did not inspect that door, and now the crystal you used to unseal those charms appears somewhere. Maybe it's in the bucket. No. I recall it being in the entranceway, though I might be horribly wrong, which would not be the first time, I admit. The thing is that we need to get inside there, we need to use the winder in there, there's also a wrong end in there, but... yeah. And then I think it changes back to... Morishige. And of course I'm just wasting time here. But then again, it's a long chapter, so... it's just a few minutes of 4 hours or something. Is there something here? There are immersed indoor usually bestowed in the copies. They appear much more old-fashioned than the ones commonly worn in modern elementary schools. Much we knew already. What is this? Being alone is scary, but being with someone else is even scarier. Stay alert. Don't let your guard down. The door is frozen in place as if it's just a decoration on the wall. It doesn't even rattle when pushed.
ここも窓と同じで開かない。どうなってんのもう。
Do we have any items actually? What do we have? Candles, matches, and wind-up key. Decomposed human cranium occupies the top left copy on this shelf. It mustn't have been easy to make it fit, as there are tissues everywhere. So...
なんか
there's something in there. Check it out.
口の中に何かあるのは見えるんだけど。
Oh, here we go.
さすがにね。
Well, it seems that I recalled correctly. Good.
俺が調べてみるよ。
After you, man.
うちが手を這う感触ってのはそうけ立つな。
Fukuroi dug around inside the mouth of the severed head for a few moments, then finally withdrew... How the hell did I pronounce it? Then finally withdrew his hand. And we found... he was gripping something tightly between his now foul-smelling discard and dully glistening fingers.
はい、ティッシュ使って。
ああ、助かる。これは何かの鍵みたいだな。
After thoroughly wiping off all the maggots and bits of rotting flesh, the item Fukuroi produced from the head took on that classic look of an old copper key. We have a key now. It opens... we cannot go there, we cannot go here either. I seem to remember that in the music room there was this thing lodged between the piano, whatever they are. Koskettimet. There's the candle, and I think there was something in here as well. There's a row of warts and plagues on one of the shelves here. Among them sits a small rectangular box.
何の箱だろう。
Take the box out. The cabinet's glass door is locked, as we knew. Why can't you use the key? Yep, there's something. Something small was permanently jammed between two of the keys on the keys. It seemed to have been wedged in with tremendous force, making it impossible to move without the surrounding keys.
確かに何かあるが
You know, something we could fit in the tiny space between the keys in order to pop it out. Oh yeah, there's that one. But why can't you use the key? Alright. Oh yeah, upstairs, the art room. I forgot about that. Maybe we can find something like that thing that scrapes paint off, and we can take the key or whatever it is between the keys there out, and then it opens that door and we can get inside bathroom, because I remember that we need to get inside the bathroom.
さっきの鍵で開けられないかな。
Yes, use the old key. And there we go.
開いたみたい。
Let us go inside the cursed art room. Well, there. The picture is not here. It's a faint and almost invisible from a distance, but there appears to be a painting of a white rose on this canvas. Or maybe it's just a water stain. It's a portrait of a girl with long black hair, but her face has been completely blotted out with red paint. Oh, that's the picture we saw in the last game. That was over there. It's a still life depicting hydrangeas. Okay, I do not know what that is. Probably a flower or something. There's a palette knife placed beneath the canvas. That's what we need.
何かに使えるかな。
Take it. You never know when something like this might come in handy. Acquired palette knife. Anything in here? There's a plaster model of a human arm on one of the shells. Maybe it was used for sketching. The fingers are all stained red, as if covered in blood.
何これ。
絵の具じゃなさそうだな
Disconcerting, to say at least. Is there anything else here? This shelf here. There are quite a lot of objects on these shelves and in these drawers, but every one of them is fixed in place as if they're all just decorative accents. Decorative accents, that's a strange way to say it. And this is basically the same. Yep, nothing down here. Yep, that's all. Well, we got the palette knife, we can take the object from between the keys with that. And hopefully move forward with the story. Find Kensuke, find Kisame, because everyone loves Kisame. Kisame is the man of many faces. Most of them quite malevolent. We know something is in there.
確かに何かあるが
Yeah, it's something we could fit in the tiny space.
そうだ。パレットナイフなら隙間に入るんじゃない？
Yep, use that. Try it. Fukuroi took the palette knife in hand and started digging between the keys of the piano with it in an attempt to dislodge whatever was stuck. It took a lot more effort than expected and created an unpleasant scraping sound that kind of hurt my ears. But ultimately...
よし出てきたぞ
Yosh! We got it.
鍵だ。
Another key.
さっきの図工室の鍵とは形も大きさも違うね。
Fukuroi handed me the small key, which I immediately pocketed. I am thinking that it opens this door. If not, I don't know what it opens.
何の箱だ。
Take the box out. It's locked.
さっきの鍵で開かないかな。
The key turned without any resistance and the heavy glass door opened right up. I removed the rectangular box from inside and marveled at the feel of the wood. It was made of paulownia, making it smooth and lightweight. Paulonia Academy is one of the schools in this in Corpse Party universe. It's the one where Naho is, actually. And Paulonia
開けてみよっか。
is a tree. Yes,
危険なものではなさそうだな。
some Sachiko's sick Jack in the box or something. Like, normally there comes a clown out. In this case, there comes a pair of scissors out and stabs you in the eye or something.
なんかあっても恨みっこなしだよ。
Way to go.
心配するな。仮に中身が爆弾でも美月なら構わないよ。
Real smooth there, Fukuroi.
それって女の子のセリフじゃん。
I couldn't believe I just laughed. I guess Fukuroi's overtly serious deadpan reactions had become a source of strength for me. I can't even describe how grateful I was just to have him there. He was like a pillar of strength. With that in mind, I fearlessly opened the Paulonia box. Inside, wrapped in silk, was a small wooden board inked with calligraphy. Calligraphy. That's... To my tongue, that's slightly difficult to say.
なんだろう。お墓にあるやつに似てる。
それは外場。これは木札といってお札の一種だな。ゴマで燃やしたりするやつだ。
And we can burn that to get inside the girls' restroom. I wasn't particularly well versed in Buddhist practices, but in a place like this, any sort of protective charm seemed like a good item to have. Now we have that with us, so we are going back upstairs. Yep, I am fast forwarding through this like a boss. Girls' room. How about now? Yep, we know. And the door is covered, it won't open.
さっき拾った木札でなんとかできないかな。
Try it!
やはり扉のお札と木札の文様はよく似てるな。でもどうしたらいいのか。
Just gently caress the door with the tag.
投げつけてみたら。
Or do that.
そんな罰当たりな。とりあえず置いてみるか。
Fukuroi did exactly that, and after only a few moments there was a notable change in the air. Whoosh. Then all of a sudden the grave tag emitted a bright blue light and the door was engulfed in flames.
大変だ。火事になっちゃう。
No, it won't.
落ち着け。よく見てみろ。
I'd already turned to run, but at Fukuroi's urging I turned back, and I have to admit, what I saw defied my expectations and explanations as well. The flames weren't actually engulfing the door, but rather just the protective paper charms affixed to it. The door, the wall, and the floor were untouched, because those are ghost flames, they are not real flames. Ones that only exist in spiritual planes. After several seconds of burning, the paper charms were completely vaporized and the flames dutifully vanished as if they were never even there. And the door changed drastically. Now we can venture forth. The protective charms are gone. The girls' restroom door now stands wide open. How about now? Let's keep our restrooms clean. Now we can actually read it. Let's keep it clean, guys. And just like in the last episodes, there's someone hanging over there. But nope, not that. Save station. Gotta love my save stations. Might have been a reference to something. There's a body hanging from one of the ceiling beams, swaying back and forth ever so slightly. It's completely decomposed, but judging by the uniform, it was probably a female junior or senior high school student in life. Behind the swinging corpse there's a conspicuous hole visible in the back wall, and all around it, on all sides, there's graffiti, exactly the kind you'd expect to find in public lavatory, from dirty drawings to for a good times. Call me, I'll be waiting for you. Dead cat in class 3's locker. I'm watching you from up above. From 3A Loves. Japanese studies teacher, Mr. Someone. Just die already, you pervert. There's a name tag on the girl's uniform. Rubens Academy Junior High School. Moeka Natsuno. Mrs. Moeka Natsuno, Miss, was 16 years old and cause of death fell into despair after witnessing friend descend into madness. Ended own life, as we can see her hanging up there. Let us search these if we can. We can search this sink basin. The water in the basin is brown and thick. The drain must be completely stopped up. Yes, we have established so. The door. It's locked from the inside, it won't open. There's a tiny hole in the door.
穴？ここから
Take a peek! Don't do it. Take a peek and
この穴から中が見えるかも。
horrible things happen. And
Oi,
we'll see now
Mitsuki.
what? I put my eye up to the hole. And saw the telltale glint of another eye staring back at me from within.
どうした？
誰かが中にこっち見てた。
So I'm gonna get Fukuro and look into the hole as well.
そんなバカな。下からは足が見えないぞ。俺が確認してみる。
That's a mistake that you will come to regret really soon. Fukuro ducked down and peeked in through the hole exactly as I had. And... here we go.
フクロイ、どうしたの？ちょっと平気？フクロイ！嘘でしょ？
Fuguroi fell onto his side, and as soon as I could see his face, I noticed that in his right glasses lens was cracked. And his right eye was bloody. On closer inspection, I noticed a round hole in the lens, as if a small stick or a fat needle had been instantaneously driven through it deep into his eye.
フクロイ！フクロイってば！
Some
起きて！
Dead Space
起き
2
てよ！
stuff going on over here. There was no hint of a response. He just kept subtly convulsing as if he'd been electrocuted. How had this happened? What was going on? Well, someone stabbed him from inside the stall. A certain someone we will soon meet.
女子トイレに男子が入っちゃいけないんだよ。
It's Yuki.
何よあんた？
Who else? Since we're stabbing eyes over here. The stall door opened, revealing a little girl with an eerie blue glow about her. She looked to be around grade school age, a 5th or 6th grader maybe. She is 11 years of age. One of her eyes had been completely pulverized, but her face showed no indication of pain. Rather, it had a certain stoic quality to it. It was unreadable. Most disturbing of all, however, was the object she held in her right hand. It was an awl, or an ice pick, or some such thing, with a bloody, dripping blade.
お姉ちゃんが男子を女子トイレに入れたの？待って、私！
Wait, I can explain. But you don't have time to explain, because death waits. Before I even had a chance to answer, the girl leaped from the stall with blinding speed.
いけないんだよ。
And here we go. Reacting as quickly as I could, I threw my arm in front of my face and almost immediately felt an ice pick blade pierce right into it. Not just once, but twice. 3 times. It dug deep into my arm, my palm, my shoulder. I had to run. But she wasn't about to let me. She just quietly kept hacking away. working her way up and down the entire length of my arm. Bit by bit my skin and flesh was chipped away, until finally the ice pick completely penetrated my palm and began boring into my cheek. Eventually my ear was hacked apart, and then I was scalped, so thoroughly that I could hear the sound of my skin peeling away with my remaining ear. There was nothing in the world but pain at this point. I couldn't focus on anything else if I'd wanted to. My vision was blank, and I honestly couldn't tell if it's because I had my eyes closed, or if I simply didn't have eyes anymore. I only knew for sure that I was still being hacked apart because I could hear it. The pain gave no indication, as it was already omnipresent. I begged for mercy several times in vain before I finally just started praying that this agony would come to an end. God, please. I'll endure whatever trials lie ahead with open arms, if you'll just save me now. I beg of you. Please. Make it stop. There we go. Another wrong end. I believe that is number 3. And there's like 7 in this chapter or something. Yes, wrong end number 3. Now we go back. Save system data, yes. Yeah, sure. Okay. Alright, system data save. Now we go back, and this time let's not peek into the hole and disturb Yuki with his whatever she's doing in there. We need that ice pick. No, wait, we don't need that ice pick. I'm not sure what I'm talking about. Anyway, continue on. What we need to do is not look into the ice pick. Well, we don't need to look into the ice pick either. But let's not look into the hole, but rather insert the wind-up key. Working on a hunch, I took the wind-up key from my pocket and tried sticking it in the hole. Surprisingly, it was a perfect fit. I then tried turning it, and with just a little bit of force, it spun 180 degrees to the right and produced a loud click.
ねじ巻きじゃなかったのかな。何かのスイッチみたいな。
スイッチ？特に変化はないみたいだが。
You have set in motion a rather grand event that will change your lives forever after this point. I was going to say something else, but I will not say it. Never mind.
待って、穴から。
As if on a cue, a single hairline stream of blood began oozing out from behind the wind-up key. It slowly wended its way down the door and formed a gloppy pool at its base. The whole room was then filled with a pungent odor all at once.
この匂いってなんだか。
ん？
なんでもない。
What? There we go.
地震か！
Back to earthquaking. Back to changing the space. Though this one was not as violent as before.
収まったみたいだな。
ビビったこんなボロい建物いつ崩れてもおかしくないよ。
Indeed.
ああ、早く外に出ないと危険だな。
I have just noticed that it's very quiet. There's not even music, there's just that atmosphere. Ambient sound playing in the background. Which does create a rather creepy scenario, unlike before, where there has been a lot of music, so it's not as creepy. Now it is. The exit door is rattling with the rain and wind, and seems like a perfectly normal, perfectly openable door now. Good!
見て、袋井、外に出られそう。
We can get outside. Outside is not any better than the inside, but at least we can go to the first wing, not first floor. Although that's first floor too, so. Meh! And now,
マユいるか。
back to the corpse fetishist. This is 1A.
ここにもいないか。マユ一体どこに。
Still looking for Mayu. Another
ま
dead
た
body.
人が死んでいる。
Okay.
本当にどうなっているんだこの学校は。
I'm not sure why I thought he wouldn't say that.
こんな場所でマユを一人にしておけない。ユイ先生か持田あたりと一緒にいてくれればいいが。
We are ready to go. First floor. Hallway between the entrance and... Oh. Someone had some fun over here. Of course, that's only just started to decay. Seems to be a junior high school girl. And from the looks of it, she was cut completely in half. Using some sort of etched instrument.
これはひどい。人間の体を脊椎ごと真っ二つにするなんて。日本刀みたいな刃物か。飛沫血痕か。こっち側に散ってるから刃物は体の前から入ったのか。
I noticed a notebook partially jutting out from her pocket. It was one of those cat-themed spiral notebooks that's all the rage with teenagers these days.
この建物から出る手がかりでもあるかもしれない。すまないが読ませてもらおう。
I feel I must take a look. I feel. I have no idea why we've been trapped here. But at least we're all here together. Mr. Goto's persons. How am I saying these things like this? Mr. Goto's presence makes us all feel a little more at ease. Without an adult around, I don't think we could handle any of this. Mr. Goto seems even more anxious than we are. He says he'll make sure we all get home safely. But his temperament just keeps getting worse. He's usually so cool, but lately he's just gotten kind of scary. Hiroko, Arisa and the others are getting really fed up with him. Mr. Goto is so unfair. He keeps playing favorites with Hiroko. That was the last of our food too. And I'm the one who stopped Hiroko and Norika from fighting. Mr. Goto is dead.
手がかりにはならないな。他に何かないのか。なあ君、何か知らないか。死体に話しかけるなんて俺もどうかしてる。
Nice of you to notice that yourself, Morisuke.
しかしおかしなもんだな。こうして人間の死体を前にしても
Yeah.
嫌悪感がなくなってきた。恐怖心が麻痺したのか。
Places like this have a strange way of desensitizing people.
この子だって最近まで俺と同じように息をして考え生活していただろうに。綺麗な顔してるけど
Damn it.
この顔もしばらくしたら腐って見られたもんじゃなくなってしまうんだろうな。
Except you.
いや別に何か手がかりでもないかと思って。
We meet up with a rather unlikely fellow.
そうか。ごめん。声が聞こえたものだから。
When you started looking at this episode, did you think that we would meet up with Takuchi? I think not.
僕は田口翔吾。見ての通りカメラマンだ。って言っても個展を開くような芸術家タイプじゃないけどね。
I think that is written wrong. It's Shogo. With that line over O.
取材でここに来たんだけど、一緒に来た先生とはぐれてしまって弱ってたんだ。君は？
僕はここに迷い込んでしまったらしくて今は友達を探しています。
友達って ひょっとしてそこに倒れている？
いえ、これは知らない人です。
そうか、よかったのかな。君の名前を聞いてもいいかい？よければ探してるっていう友達の名前も。
森重作太郎です。探してるのは女の子で鈴本真由。小柄でよく笑う明るい子なんですが。
鈴本ね。
The cameraman named Takuchi suddenly flipped out the LCD screen on his camcorder and began rewinding through footage.
何を？
いや、言いにくいんだけど、僕がここに来てから撮った映像に映り込んでないかと思って、後々警察に提出することを考えて、被害者の遺体と身元が分かりそうな、例えば名札なんかを取っておいたんだ。
バカな！バカなことを言わないでください。マユは無事ですよ。
Calm down, Morishige.
いや、ごめん、安心してくれ。鈴本さんらしい遺体は映像にはなかったよ。しかし君は勇気があるね。
Really very brave. Okay.
だっていくら友達を探すためとはいえ、さっきそこの遺体を念入りに調べてたじゃないか。
Yeah, it's the same thing as with Kisame. Like I said in the last game, that either that we can pretty much guess from how the character is presented to us that either he is really brave, I mean the badass of the series, or he's the craziest of crazies. Either or.
あなたもカメラで死体を撮っているじゃないですか。
And in this case we know which it is.
それがね、カメラマンってのは奇妙なもんで、ファインダー越しなら客観的な立場に徹していられるんだけど、
Filming dead is my business and business is good.
生で見ちゃうと腰が引けちゃうもんなのさ。死体や銃撃に慣れた戦場カメラマンが愛用のカメラが壊れた途端、恐怖で泣き叫び出したなんて話は僕らの間では有名でね。
なるほど、そういうものですか。
興味がない話だったかな。僕はどうも口数が多くて、ナホちゃんにいつも。それはそうと、どうだい、この際だから一緒に行動しないか。
And since Morishige didn't want to go with Satoshi in the last game, guess what he's gonna say to Takuchi?
いえ、せっかくですが僕はもうしばらく一人で探してみます。田口さんの足手まといになるのも悪いですから。こんなやかましい人と同行するのはごめんだな。目上の人間と接するのも疲れるし。
そうか。じゃあ後でまた合流するのはどう？ここは磁場か何かのせいで時計が狂ってしまうけど、大体の目安で1時間後にそこの玄関で待ち合わせよう。こんな場所で生きてる人間に会えたんだ。君だって情報交換くらいしたいだろ。
そういうことならわかりました。
オッケー、決まりだ。じゃあ気をつけてね。
Right. We've met up with Takuchi and in an hour we will meet him at the entranceway. But before that hour is filled, we shall look around.
穴の底に何かあるが、降りるのは危険だな。何か道具を探さないと。
Yeah, we need something to reach that thing down there. Actually, let's get a wrong end. If you try to go to the second wind, bad things will happen. A sudden feeling of dread overcame me. I stopped in my tracks and began to survey my surroundings.
この先は危ないよ。この廊下は現れてはいけないものなんだ。
驚いたな。これは人間の魂なのか。 まさか幻覚じゃないだろうな。
Upon that musing, the spirit vanished from sight. But the sense that I was being watched remained. There was a covered walkway beyond this heavy iron door. A covered walkway that wasn't supposed to be here, evidently. But did I dare to challenge it? Yes, because if you try to go through here, this happens. Open the door and proceed out into the walkway. Do it! Just as my hand touched the knob, I was sent flying backwards by some tremendous force. For a split second I swore I saw a figure, but that could have just been my imagination. The pain from my impact, however, was very real.
幻覚じゃないみたいだな。
And ultimately I was unable to open the door. Yeah, just skip it. But we got very darkening from that. Let's do it again. Again. Oh, damn it. God damn it. There. More darkening. Get those wavy lines in here. Now my darkening is at 90%. One more and we will get a wrong end. Here we go. Bang. That was a well done scream.
眉行かないと眉を探しに。
You're not going anywhere anymore, Morishige.
で起きて。
眉いやもっと幼い。誰だ。
Guess who?
お兄ちゃん起きて。
ここは
Where you are doesn't matter. What matters is what's about to happen.
おはようお兄ちゃん。ここはね、私のおもちゃ箱。
The young girl thrust her face so close to mine that our nose practically touched. She was smiling from ear to ear. She looked to be in about first or second grade, with long black hair and clean, cute, almost dainty countenance. After my brief impression, however, I quickly turned my head away. She was uncomfortably close, literally breathing down my neck, and her breath. It smelled of blood, of death and decay, and fatty oils and smoke. It smelled of chemicals and antiseptic. It was a very, very unpleasant potpourri.
誰だ君は。
嬉しくなっちゃう。なんだこれはって聞かないんだね。ここに来た人はみんなまず驚いて泣き出すのに。
Yeah, don't be scared if you just see Sachiko's point of view. She'll be all nice to you. Like this. The little girl began backing away from me, her shoulders still shaking in a soundless chuckle. I knew exactly what she meant. It would be entirely reasonable to ask what's going on here. Even at a glance, I could tell this room was not good. The floors and walls were caked in blood as thick as mud. Buckets of body parts were strewn all about and eviscerated corpses were stacked everywhere. So this is the... either this is the dissection room or the body pool. I think the former is the right answer. And that was just what I could see at a glance. As for me, I was bound to a chair against one of the walls, not with ropes, but with chains.
私の名前は篠崎幸子。
It's good old Sachan! Yeah!
俺をどうするつもりだ。殺すのか。
No, Sachiko is going to have a slightly different kind of fun with you. Get your mind out of the gutter there, I did not mean that.
どうしよっかな。これから考える。先にこれで遊ぶから。
Just as she said the word else, she brought her hand down onto a nearby table in a slapping motion, and it made contact with someone. It was a girl, bound by her hands and feet, and Sachiko's slap was aimed squarely at her thigh. Her uniform suggested that she was in high school, and she was wearing glasses, giving her a rather stern, serious appearance. I could hear the sound of chattering teeth, and see her chest rising and falling rapidly and erratically, suggesting she was paralyzed with fear.
名前はね、浦部恵美さん。
Well, that is a name that we know. At the sound of her own name being read aloud from her student ID name tag, the girl let out a single whimper. Oh no, Emmy, there are no brakes on the pain train.
ダメ。お姉ちゃんは今からとびきり痛いことをされます。
Just like Satsun said, we're gonna have a lot of fun.
惨めったらしい顔や命乞いをして見せてくださいね。やだ。冗談だよね。だって私何も。
Sachiko does not care. Emmy, she does this for fun, no matter what you've done.
うるさい。気が散る。
Sachiko swung her hand downward at Emi's face, and I realized only after impact that there was a scalpel in it. A sloppy, uncontrolled incision was made from the corner of her mouth all the way to her ear. Ow. Giving her a nice Glasgow smile.
なんてね。ごめんね、痛かった？本気じゃないからまだあんまり痛がらないで。これからもっと痛くなるのよ。
Yeah, and this will get really disturbing really fast, so get ready. Sachiko produced a pair of durable sewing scissors from her rollaway shelf nearby and began expertly cutting all the way up Emi's school uniform. Then she set down the scissors and produced a full-sized farming sickle in their place. Here we go. It looked well worn, with soil and rust sticking liberally to the blade. After brandishing it for a moment, Sachiko positioned it over Emi's abdomen. And here comes the name Dissection Room.
目が覚めるかどうか自分で確かめろ。
Here we go. Get ready for screaming. Sachiko slowly shifted her focus from Emi's abdomen to the area just below her rib cage. Emi's body began spasming, her spinal muscles contracting in a decidedly unnatural manner. Gasps and screams mixed with sounds of vomit and incontinence. Okay.
いい顔になってきたね。できるじゃないか。それだよ、それ。
Without even wiping the drool from her mouth, Sachiko tossed the sickle aside and simply began digging into Emi's wound with her bare hands. The sound of tiny hands manipulating internal organs was disgustingly similar to that of a sopping wet rag squelching spilled oatmeal off a hardwood floor. That was slightly detailed and specific description. Strangely, not slightly. That must feel really good. And now? The noises escaping Emi's mouth didn't even sound like they were coming from a human being anymore. I could see her face in profile now, and despite the gastric juices and vomit and blood and contortions of unbearable agony, it wasn't a disagreeable sight. This was a girl not far from death. She was trying her hardest to fight it, but facts were the facts. She was going to die, and she knew it. Against this fate, she was completely and utterly helpless. She was doomed already in both body and soul. This hapless struggle had a certain sensual quality to it. No, it was even purer than that. This was a truly beautiful sight.
本来に
Sachiko, who had at this point buried her head in Emi's exposed organs, withdrew it and directed this question at me, her mouth still full of flesh. Look at zombies now. Everything from her nose down was dyed red and dripping with blood.
本当にいい顔になってきたじゃないか。
She swallowed whatever she'd bitten out of Emi's insides, then turned to face me. Not just face me, actually, but stare at me, stare into me, with unwavering, unblinking eyes. I suddenly became aware of my own erratic breathing. It wasn't fear, though, but an almost animalistic reaction. It was coarse and primal, and I'd unconsciously thrust my chest forward toward Emi. I think I may have been smiling.
どうだお前もやってみるかい
Don't be ridiculous. It's like she's making fun of me. She shouldn't even have to ask. That was really good. Thank you for that. That was Chick. Wrong end number 5. As you can see, we missed number 4, but we will get it at a later date. I still have some time, so I guess we will search the first floor before I end this episode. So I don't have time problems with the next episode. Episodes. Let's play from this file. Sure, go ahead. First of all, I'm gonna search this again. Yep. Let's just go up and search the upper part. There's still a lot of name tags to be found, but I do not remember where they are. One is at the exit, one is in 1A, one is on the 3rd floor. I don't remember where the other one is. Oh, pool. And one is in the locker room. Is there anything else? I seem to remember there was one somewhere in these halls. But I seem to be recalling correctly. But then again, there's like, I don't know, 20 corpses in this chapter. I'm just gonna go over here first and then check out the Bulldog Super Building Supervisor, Custodian's Closet, whatever you wish to call it. Which is probably locked. Maybe it isn't. I remember. The door to the Custodian's Closet is frozen in place, as it's just a decoration on the wall. It can't be opened. Yes, I remembered correctly. Well, to be honest, I've only played this game once before, so I maybe remembering some things incorrectly. I do remember a lot, though. 5A is open, so let us go inside and see what's in here. Hello, 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 I am here. Surprisingly, we are at 0 darkening, even though we're Michigan. Aren't you forgetting something? Be careful on your way home. I think that didn't give us any darkening. Almost looked like there was someone there. There are lots of old stationary goods inside, like rusted paper clips and beat-up staplers. Not a one of them seems usable or functional. Except perhaps this spool of kite string mixed in with them. Go ahead, we will need that. Take the kite string. Open the cabinet door and retrieve the kite string from within. Seems good as new, and it might just come in handy. Yep, we have the kite string. We will need it to, I think, fish out the thing from the hole next to the exit. We'll just need something to attach the string. classroom door is locked. Too bad. 4A is inaccessible. And there are no bodies. Wait, that's not accessible. This is the door to the basement. And it's locked. The door is frozen in place. It's just a decoration on the wall. It can't be opened. So most of it was a waste of time, but at least we cut the kite string. Yeah, let's go to the exit. There's a body there, and I seem to recall a bit of dialogue. At least on the later date there will be, since Morrissey began talking to the corpse. Whatever, we will get the ID now.
田口さんは来てないな。まだ1時間経ってないのか。
Yeah, it hasn't been. But that's not why we came here. The door is frozen in place as if it's just a decoration on the wall. It doesn't even rattle when pushed. Nothing there, nothing over here, and there's a corpse over there. No texts. It's a fairly fresh corpse. Looks to be a junior high school girl. Her eyeball seems to have been slashed horizontally with a thin razor-like blade. And as if to complement this, the arteries in her wrist seem to have been slashed vertically with the same blade. That was most likely the cause of death. The name tag on her chest is bloody but legible. Seisho, Junior High School, Arisa Kaida. Arisa Kaida was 13 years of age and cause of death was died of blood loss from deep external wounds, as we read there. She also had an object with her, which we will take now. It's a notebook. Mr. Goto changed when he came here. Not just his attitude and the way he speaks, but his looks too. It's like he thinks he's the king of the castle, being the only adult and the only man. And he used to be so nice. I don't want him to beat me. So I keep patting him on the head and hugging him, and then he thanks me. Oh, I think I know where this is going. But we will see the continuation of that story and maybe meet up with other persons than Takuchi with Morisuke in the next episode. But for now, thank you all so much for watching. I will see you in the next one.